Well, folks, 2024 is in the freaking books. And these aimless stacks of video games around the whole basement are kind of a look into the fact that, boy, this has been a really good year. The fact that, like, these shelves are full to overflowing, which, by the way, this is not normal. These, like, overflowing stacks on the ground. This is because we had like 10 solid days where we didn't check the PO box for incoming shipments. So when we got back, it was all backed up, and the team has done an awesome job of getting as much of the incoming stuff processed as possible and cleaned and sorted onto the shelves. You guys can see there are some games over here that are in the process of being recased, but most of our like prepping bins are empty. The intake shelves over there are empty, which means that every single person that sent us a batch of video games over the break has now been paid, and that feels good. But I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a high-level update today on what is the state of the union on Quick Flips. What have been the biggest wins of this year? And I also want to pull back the curtain for you guys on some of the growing pains that we are experiencing, because that's part of the reality of growing a business too. And on this channel, I pride myself on radical honesty. That's one of our big values here. And I just want to share some of that with you guys. So first and foremost, the numbers that we ended the year at. A lot of, well, maybe not a lot. Some resellers don't share this, but I like to. We ended the year with $2.6 million in video game sales on Amazon, which just more than double last year and more than 10x what I thought this business would ultimately become. Our net margins on that this year were pretty low. I think they'll be between 200,000 and 300,000. But given the fact that we did so much investing in software and people and everything this year, I feel really good about that. You can probably tell from my energy. It's been a really good year. We've got PlayStation games on our floor, which as of this time 2 months ago, we didn't even buy. But our single PlayStation shelf is already full. And it's just, there's a lot of exciting stuff happening. We now have 2 full-time employees. Keaton just went full-time this month. Spencer's still full-time. We have a guy with a ton of experience in finance who's been helping us out, tighten up some systems. So it has been a huge, especially, gosh, the last couple months have just been a little bit of a whirlwind. What you guys have caught me in the middle of here is, it's funny how, like, every time I turn the camera on, it seems I'm tinkering, creating some sort of junk out of cardboard. This is my natural habitat right here, is being able to pat myself on the back for my thriftiness because I unnecessarily created something out of cardboard. The idea behind this system, by the way, before we get into some of the meat of the video, is I'm creating an intake station so that especially when you're training new people, we'll be able to show them. I want to put outlines on this board that are, like I'm gonna spray paint some game outlines here so that we'll have unique stacks for like games that need to be, have their cases cleaned or have their cases replaced or have their discs resurfaced. You'll be able to see at a glance where all of those go. So as you're processing a batch and going through all of the stacks and you've checked everything in, but you're looking at condition, you'll know based on, oh, this is the combo pack. I was like, why are there 2 discs in this thing? You'll know based on just looking at this mat where things should go, and you won't have to second guess yourself of, oh, what was this, my like discs to resurface pile, or was this my cases to clean pile? I can't remember. I need to check another one, and that takes extra time. So I'm hoping to have a few of these that can just be folded up after you're done doing intake and getting people paid for batches that they send in. And that's where my mind is right now. So on the plus side of the business over the last couple months, it's been really fun to get into the nitty-gritty details of operations, right? Of what is it going to take to break down all of our systems, from inbound when people are sending us their batches of video games, by the way, through myquickflips.com. Go there if you want fair, fast cash for your video games, folks. To prepping and cleaning, and then to resurfacing stacks like these of 50 games that all need to have their discs resurfaced on different settings, to sorting onto our storage shelves, to over here listing everything, first bagging all of the games that need to go out the door, and then getting them listed afterwards on Amazon in the most efficient method possible, and then finally getting them shipped back out the door. Optimizing the step-by-step processes for all of those systems has honestly just been a lot of fun. It is something that I think my mind is good at. So I'm really grateful to be able to do that. My wife actually just came down into the basement for the first time in a while, and she saw this bad boy over here. Look how official we are. This was actually a Spencer decision back there. He was like, you know what, we have at this point like 6 employees with all of the part-time and contract work that we have. We've got to we should probably be compliant. I was like, yeah, that's probably a good idea, even though we are working out of a basement here. So that's the stuff that's been going the best for us. Not to mention, we have on Monday the biggest update that we have ever launched going live on the website. I don't want to get into it just yet. I'm going to wait and see what it does to our submission volume before I fully announce it on this channel. But you guys will know. I'll tell you all about it once we make sure that things are kind of still cruising and we're not going to get drowned in stuff. But if you were to ask me, Caleb, hey, I see all of these things that you're excited about and all of this stuff that is happening in your business, but what I really like about this channel is that you are willing to be radically honest about these glamorized collectibles businesses and ask the hard questions and talk about the hard stuff. So pull back the curtain a little bit, and what's been hard about this season? And I would say to you, very astute question asker, who clearly shares some similar values that I do, just lobbing myself some softball questions here in the basement. You know what I should do at some point? I should take all the interview questions that I like to ask other collectibles business owners most often and just list them out and just answer them myself, as if just interview myself. That'd be kind of a fun video. The harder parts of this season of growth. That's why I wanted to talk about this idea of growing pains, because when I started this business 5 years ago, I expected that there would be pain. I expected that there are going to be seasons of stagnation, and that's going to be painful. I expected that there are even going to be times of decline, right? Of, constriction in the business, where the numbers and the arrows are going the wrong way. And I know that's going to be painful. But what I didn't expect was that there's also pain that comes even in the growth times. And that when you're, for example, trying to run a business without venture money, and you need more resources, more space, and more people, but you just can't afford it yet, that's painful. And it's not supposed to feel good when you're in a period of growth, but you only have so many resources and you pretty much never get your to-do list done. That's not supposed to feel good. It's not supposed to feel good when you can sense the stress levels of your team going up as the obligations and the inventory and the responsibilities continue to stack up, because things are growing and it's going well, but you're not at the point yet where you have the money left at the end of the month to hire on more resources or to buy a warehouse or whatever. And it's definitely not supposed to feel good when all external indicators of your business, your revenue growth, your team size, the space that you're occupying are all externally on the up and up, but it doesn't feel quite like the bank account is matching because of the amount that you're reinvesting in this growth stage. That's definitely not supposed to feel good. And I think if I could go back and talk to 25, 24-year-old Caleb, who was going around to the yard sales and the thrift stores and finding mostly books to flip on Amazon, if I had a chance to adjust his expectations, I would probably say, man, growing a business is going to be hard and different kinds of painful in every season. You'll pretty much always have to be more obsessed with it than you would like, whether you're growing, declining, or stagnating. And it's okay if it's most often uncomfortable in some way, because the business can only grow as fast as you do.